Beauty. Today I'm going to review and swatch the collaboration between Colourpop and a fellow YouTuber, KathleenLights So Jaded palette. I adore KathleenLights. I think she is adorable and so sweet, and I love watching her channel, so I figured I would help her out and support her collab. Also, I really love crystals, if you couldn't tell by Brewing Beauty. So I figured this would be the perfect palette for me. So I'm going to go ahead, and as usual, whenever I do my swatches, I'm going to go from this end to this end, because that's just easier for me, and that's how I like to do it. Maybe you know like it. Don't watch, I guess. Okay then. The first one that we have is called Diamond. It's a very interesting shade. I don't know if it necessarily screams diamonds to me, but okay, now I see it. Now I see it. Alright. First of all, super creamy. Like, almost like feels wet. It's very, very different from anything I felt from Colourpop, I think. You probably won't be able to see it because it is a very almost translucent kind of shade, but it's very pretty. The shimmer, oh my god, that feels glossy. Like, how? That feels like gloss. I cannot even see that. You can ever so slightly see it, but I'm telling you, it is beautiful. It feels like gloss, and in real life, it is a beautiful, beautiful color. Well, it's not even really a color, it's just shimmer, and I can't even describe this. It's so pretty. No words. No words. See it? Do you see the reflex? I'm gonna bring you closer, just in case. No, a little. It's beautiful. Trust me. Just trust me. The next one is called Rose. Excuse me. The next one is called Rose Quartz. This one is a matte shade. It's like a tan with a bit of pink added into it. See, this one I probably would have called Pink Slip if it were in that other palette that I swatched. But I'm going to swatch this. Very smooth. Again, going to be pretty difficult to see because it is going to be a lighter shade. It's pretty like blushy pink. That's a cute pink. I like that pink. You see that? It's very light. It's ever so slightly there, but it is very pretty. It's a very innocent kind of pink, you know? Like, I like that. I like that. The next one in this row is called Ruby, and it is a metallic red shade. I feel like probably a classic idea of what ruby would be. So, swatch. Again, very smooth. So far I have no real complaints about any of the textures or anything. That one's a little on the, like, it has a little bit of fallout even whenever you're swatching it. Oh yeah, that looks like ruby. That looks like ruby slippers. That's very pretty. I get why she called it that. Yeah. I get why she picked this shade too. It literally looks like ruby slippers. This would actually go really well, I think, with Fred from the Sophia collaboration. I think that'd be a pretty combination together. The next one is called Royal Jewels. This one is a peach-toned kind of you can't see it. This one is a peach-toned kind of shade right there. Again, probably not going to be anything too impressive necessarily about this color, but it's always good to have some neutral shades in there. You see that? Ever so slightly. But again, it is a neutral shade, so it's understandable that it doesn't necessarily show up the best. Alright, the next one is Fluorite, which is an interesting, almost purple kind of shade with like silver reflex, I think, from what I can tell. Very smooth, yes. It is like a light lavender kind of shade, I think, with some metallic. We're going to switch that. Ooh, very pretty color in person. It is very purpley. Can you see that? You can see some of the iridescence in it. You can see it ever so slightly. But in person, it's actually a pretty shade. It's very interesting. Alrighty. And next we have Moonstone, which is very similar in, I think, formula to Fluorite. Only this one is a more silver kind of shade to it. I really like Kathleen's palette so far because she really gets what a lot of the stones really look like. And I think she tries to be as true to them as she can. Can't see Moonstone. Now you can ever so see the difference. See, that one has a bit more of a purple undertone, while that one is more silver. See? I think it's good. I'm actually really excited to play with this palette later on. I'm glad I'm able to swatch it. Alright, the next one on the first one on the second row, I should say, is again another neutral shade. It's a lot lighter than Royal Jewels. This one is called My Precious. This one is not going to show up very well either. Already telling you. This one's a matte shade. And it's very light. I can see where I put it, but you probably can't. Ever so slightly, I think. Yeah, you can see it. It's that very light shade right there. There's a little distinction between it. But, I mean, it's a neutral shade, which is understandable with a palette with this many bright tones and shimmers and things like that. You do need something to sort of balance it out and make it more accessible for everyone. Or, I guess, add more shades that you can work with in this palette. You know what I'm trying to say. The next one is called Sunstone, and it's a pretty coppery color, I think. Yeah, it's like a copper orange. Probably going to be pretty accurate. Alright, yeah. Unfortunate. Aha, see? Yeah, that fits for Sunstone, I think. What do you guys think? I could see myself wearing that sometime. Alrighty. The next one in that row, the third one, is called Pearl. If I come across one that feels differently from the others or gives me any issues as far as that goes, I'll let you know. Sorry. That is Pearl. True to its name, it's very pearly white, very shimmery, very nice. Right. The next one is called Citrine. Oh, got it. And it's like a mustard yellow. I'm kind of excited for it. I don't have any other shades any close to this, so I don't know. I'm kind of excited to have it. Alright. Careful. Got a little fallout. There we go. See, nice and mustardy yellow. Alright. The next one we have is Garnet. which is, shows up on camera a very bright red, but it looks a lot darker in person. It's more of a burgundy type shade, I think. There you go. And kind of on camera, it shows up as slightly, I almost dropped it, slightly darker than Ruby. Maybe it's because they're different formulas. They look so different. I don't know. It is nice. I do like on it. Next, I have Ametrine, I believe, which is purple, but it's kind of a muted purple, and it has, what color? Either silver or gold flecks in it. Ooh, and I'm very glad it's not one of those where the glitter just sits on top, and once you swatch it, it just completely fades away. There are some that are like that, and I don't like those. This one is really nice. Alright, this is, again, Ametrine. That's very pretty. I like that purple. I really like that purple. Alrighty. And that is all of the second row. And now, on to the third. First, we begin with the color, I don't really ever know how to pronounce this in all honesty. It's Peridot, whatever. The August. I threw her here. Yeah, August birthstone. It's my husband's birthstone, my sister's birthstone, my aunt's birthstone, and a lot of people on this. It's, the best way I can describe it is there is a dress that Marilyn Monroe wears, and I think she's a showgirl in it. I'm not entirely sure. It's like a mossy olive, it's like an olive green, like a metallic olive green. And I really like shades like that, like unique greens I love. So that's the color. It looks very yellow on camera. It's like that. Oh, feel like butter. Except for Diamond. Diamond felt like freaking gloss. And, you see that? Like I said, it's a metallic color, so it's got that sheen to it. Can you see the undertones? It's so pretty. I like it so much. It's such a big palette. There's so many colors. Why was this my idea? Okay. Excuse me. The next color is kind of a pinky peach kind of color. It's called You're a Gem. Another transition shade, I think. Pretty much the ones that aren't actually named after jewels. I kind of consider the more filler colors, but doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong. Yeah, this is like a nice peachy shade. Can you even see it? Yeah. It's matte, so it's not going to necessarily show up. And it is a lighter shade, so yeah, I think it's a pretty good transition shade. I think it's cute. Okay. The next one is called Topaz. Topaz is going to be very interesting because it is a different formula from the others. It looks, I think, like a pressed glitter. Not entirely sure about that. I'm no expert on these particular things, but that's certainly what it looks like. It reminds me very much of Duh from the Whatever palette. It's kind of like chunky glitter that's pressed into an eyeshadow. It's always unique. And this one is a very interesting one. I'll just show you. See? That's topaz. No, not that one. Oh, here. Okay. I stuck my finger in Moonstone. I've actually never swatched this one before. Mine moves a little bit in the pan, or like in the palette, so just be careful with this palette. I don't know how necessarily secure the pans are. This is definitely interesting. I have straight glitter chunks. Another, I keep almost dropping it. It's another sparkly golden. It's a bit of a darker golden shade, I think, than Duh. And in certain lights, the glitter can show red as well, which is interesting. It's just an overall really different kind of color, I think. I don't think I've definitely never seen anything like topaz before. Alrighty. My back hurts. I'm not used to good posture. Okay. Serious time. Oh. Straight back. Shoulders back. Okay, let's do this. Next, we have Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is like a brown metallic kind of shade. If you ever seen actual tiger's eye, they are most of the time brown with like a lighter strip of brown in the center, which is kind of where they get their name. It looks like a cat eye. So hopefully this is pretty accurate. So far, all the rest of them have been fairly accurate to actual stones, so I don't think we're going to have any complaints. Just starting now. Indeed, no complaints. I kind of get why she did the metallic with it, because it does show some, like it shifts between the darker brown and the lighter brown. I think this is a good representation for its name. See? I agree. Alright. The next one is my personal favorite, and I'm sure it's because I'm biased. Next one is Opal. Opal is the birthstone for October, which is me and my son. So, it's a little more blue than I think I would normally expect Opal to be. It's that second one from this side. But I do definitely see what she was trying to do. Ooh, this one like reminds me of snow in the texture. It's very, you cannot, maybe you can see it like that. Nope. Okay, fuck it. Alright, we're just gonna swatch it, alright? You cannot see it. It's there, I promise. It's another one that doesn't really have color to it. It only has the glitter to it. But whenever you actually look, the glitter reflects all sorts of different colors, which is very similar to Opal. Opal doesn't have necessarily one color that stands out in it. The more you shift it, the more different colors you see. Actually, from what I understand, the stories behind Opal, or at least one, is from Nordic culture. And they believed, you've seen the Avenger or the Thor movies where they have the Rainbow Bridge. Well, that's actually a thing in Norse mythology. They actually believed in a rainbow bridge. And they believed that the opal was a part of the rainbow bridge that had fallen down to earth. And it was actually a very sacred stone for Nordic people. And every time I hear that, I just think it's so interesting. And every time... Alright, and the final one in this row is Aquamarine. It's a very beautiful shimmer, like icy blue. Ah, I love this. Yeah. Use that one. Right here. Let me swatch and swatch. Yes. Very icy blue. Very 90s, early 2000s. You can never see these because I'm too pale. This is not fair. Maybe there's too many lights. I don't know. Ah. Can you see it now? No? Yeah, you can. Aha! You can see it now. Ooh, you can see the opal too now. Aha! Just have to get extremely close. Alrighty. And I have officially run out of orange. So, we're gonna switch. Yeah. My best friend keeps messaging me and I feel bad because I can't answer her right now. Alrighty. Next one is called Geodude. Geodude is a warm brown matte shade. I forgot I have to switch arms. Can I do it? No, I can't see that. Back up, back up. This is not gonna work. You have to waste that swatch. Fine. Okay. Take 2. Alright. Geodude, swatch. Woohoo! Do this. Power through. Ah, what did I get on my finger? Technical difficulties. Get closer. You're too far. Okay. So, we're going to start down here this time, because I want to. See the round? See it? It looks like dirt, only because it's on my elbow, but that's okay. Again, another transition color, like I said before, with all the ones that don't have actual, yeah. Alrighty, next one is pretty little shade. It's kind of an orangey red, called Carnelian. Yeah. No, what? Having so much trouble. Okay, Carnelian. Reminds me very much of Rust. No. Yay. Okay, there we go. Carnelian. Again, very accurate. Carnelian is a very red-toned orange. So, good job. I really haven't had any complaints about the colors. I've only been having technical difficulties on my end. This next one is kind of reminds me of a slate gray. It is stoned. This should be interesting. Okay. Finally found one that's a problem. Oh. So that came out very patchy. That is not just on camera. Ooh. Okay. Gotta say, personally would not recommend this particular color. But this is the only one that I've had problems with thus far. So, out of 4 rows, I finally have one that's giving me issues. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright. The next one is called Jasper, which is ironic because that is actually my son's name. This one is like it's a nice mix between purple and red, I think. Not necessarily what I would probably pick, for Jasper, but it is it does tend to be a red toned crystal. Not gonna lie, personally, not the most thrilled, but it's not bad. Alright, next one I'm very excited about. It's a very beautiful shade. This one is turquoise, and that is, yep, ding, 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 yeah. Alright, swatching. Very pigmented. It has a lot of fallout, but overall, A+. I'm watching other YouTubers as a YouTube because it makes me feel less weird, I guess. And all I hear is da 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 da. Oh, what the fuck? There. The next one is called Onyx. It is a black with silver shimmer in it. It's very pretty. I like. Careful. All of these are so creamy, it's very easy to get fallout. So my suggestion, particularly with the brighter colors, would probably be to do your eye makeup first and do foundation and stuff after. I mean, if you don't, that's you. Do your makeup how you want to, but that's just my suggestion. And nice. That would be pretty on the shade. That would be a pretty shade to put on the lid. I mean, I cannot speak. But yeah. Very pretty. I like it. Alright, and finally we are on the last row, which I am excited for. The first shade is Emerald, and it is a true shimmery metallic, or not shimmery, but it's a metallic green color. I actually have a dress called, that is classified as Emerald, and they are very similar in shades. I love that. I think that is beautiful. Pretty green shade. Next one is a matte shade. This one is similar to the last one, but distinct as well. This one is more of a mossy green shade, and it is called Jade. One moment. I have makeup on the back of my palette. How that managed to happen, I have no flipping clue! Alright. Jade. I think I'm gonna need more. I will say Jade isn't quite as buttery as Cynthia. Ooh. That's still nice. Oh, still a nice shade. Like I said, it's a kind of mossy olive color. But pretty. I like. Alright, this next one is Alexandrite. See, amethyst and Alexandrite look pretty similar. Except... Okay. There we go. Alexandrite has more of a blue shift to it, even though it is still purple. It's definitely interesting. I don't necessarily know how to blend. pretty. I like that. Alright. The next one we have is Smoky Quartz. Interesting little fact about quartz, particularly clear quartz, is essentially like the universal stone. They say that you can use a clear quartz for almost anything. And I know clear quartz is not necessarily smoky quartz, but quartz. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a... how would I describe it? It's kind of like a creamy champagne. That's nice. I like that shit. That's very pretty, actually. I really like that. That's actually really pretty to do with all the reflective colors on there. Jade doesn't do it, though. Jade doesn't like to participate. It's ironic, I actually know somebody named Jade, and yeah, she doesn't like to participate. That's why we were friends. You doing this? Nah. Alright. Next we have Amethyst. Amethyst is this it's very true purple. Very violet type shade. I'm actually really excited. My dad would love this color. He adores purple. Ooh, yeah, he would like that one. I think this one is a bit more... I don't know. Yeah, this one is more of a true purple. I like that. It doesn't do the shift as much, which is a little disappointing, but still pretty. Alright. And the final one is a dark matte blue called Sapphire. Okay. Sapphire. That's really pretty. Alright. And so far, that has been the KathleenLights So Jaded palette. There we go. Alright. And if you want to see more, please come back. We'd love to have you. And bye.